All right, last up, number 6. Let's listen to it.
Sarah took pity on the young children.
All right, good. Like I said, this person agrees with me in almost all the particulars. And we can just look at the very minor differences. None of them are that big of a deal, but let's say we match up perfectly on the first 2 words, except for that K and took. Let's listen to that. Listen, I'm saying it like I'm from New Zealand.
Sarah took pity. Sarah took pity.
Yeah, hopefully you can hear that even without me zooming in. Play it again.
Sarah took pity. Sarah took pity.
But there's no K at the end of took. Let's get into that bit right there.
Took pit. Took pit. Took pit.
This is the took.
Took.
But he doesn't release that K at the tail end. He goes, there's a closure. You can't hear it. And then he goes to the P right after it.
Pit. Took pit. Took pit.
And your mind might imagine it being in there because you can hear sort of that transition, that closing into the K, but he doesn't actually make it audible. So you can transcribe that with that no audible release diacritic, that little square angle bracket to the right of the K, like right there. That's why that's there. Yeah, and that typically happens to like K is a velar closure. It's further back in your mouth, and then you close your P, your bilabial closure in front of it, so it kind of swallows up any stop release burst that might happen there. Yeah, good job on pity. A little bit of a discrepancy on.
Pity on the young children.
Yeah, but this is the
pity.
The flap in the middle of pity.
Pity.
Yeah, it's pretty prominent.
Pity.
D. But you can kind of hear it doesn't really sound like a stop, like a D. It's more like a
D.
So I won't say anything further about that. Here's our on. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna try to get rid of that though that follows it there. Yeah, and oops, too close. So yeah, this person transcribed it as a schwa. I don't have a problem with that, again, because it's an unstressed syllable. It's kind of hard to hear the distinction. If I zoom in a little bit closer, I hear more of a maybe wedge, maybe ah. But it's nasalized, which is why it's kind of hard to hear the difference as well. So this is not a big deal. I think it's a little bit closer to like the low back portion of the space. I don't hear any voicelessness there for that interdental fricative. It's like in a whole stream of voiced things, so you wouldn't really expect it to become voiceless there. It's more common for that fricative to become voiceless at the beginning of an utterance, like in the 10th American, which is typical.
Pity on the young.
Yeah, so I don't have much more to say about that. The young children in here.
Young.
Yeah, and normally I'd expect that to be a nasalized vowel, so I'm glad this person put that there. It just doesn't seem as nasalized as you'd normally expect it to be. It's kind of in here. Yeah, and there's the nasal stop part there. There's more split there than normal, I guess you could say. Furnace just kicked on. It's going to ruin the sound quality, but we'll just wrap through the rest of this. Children, minor discrepancy here in the last vowel, and there's also, I transcribed that with a velarized L. We can listen to it. Just children.
Children.
This is the chill. That's the dark L there. Rather than children. Yeah, so just I think that's one thing you just need to keep in mind, not to overlook that. I think overall, again, great job. But the moral of the story is that it's useful to kind of poke through these sound files if you have the time and the motivation to listen to these individual parts of it. And this is the simple way to do it in Prot. Just select that little bit of it and listen to that part by itself and try to come up with the best evaluation of it that you can. Again, keeping sort of these expectations in mind about where to find things like nasalized vowels or devoicing, what have you, according to the phonological rules of sort of casual and informal speech in English. This is not really totally casual or informal speech. It's just sort of connected speech phenomena, what actually happens when you actually do say sentences in English, because normally the ones I'm going to present to you are like recorded in a lab setting and sort of relatively formal way of speaking if you know you're being recorded. I've said too much already, though. Hopefully I've gotten the point across, and hopefully this clarifies any sort of uncertainties that you might have had about this particular exercise. But like I said, I think you did well, and I'm glad to see everybody making so much progress so quickly. I got one more video to make tonight about the tone transcription exercise. Hopefully that won't take too much longer because I need to upload these before it's too late for you all. So I'm going to stop talking again and then start talking again in just a minute.